Have you ever noticed that every culture has holidays, but Germany has events? Not like family gathering, spiritual reflection, community celebration. No, Germany has walking while drinking, dancing around trees, burning giant fires, and worshipping cabbage. And somehow these are all completely normal to us. Hi, my name is Manuel, I'm German, and today I want to explain 4 German traditions that perfectly show how Germany actually celebrates life. And if you notice a pattern, yes, there will be alcohol. Because in Germany, tradition without alcohol is just logistics. Let's start with one of my favorites, which literally means dance into May. Sounds romantic, right? Spring is coming, flowers are blooming, people celebrate life, nature awakens. In Germany, let's drink and dance next to a decorated tree. Yes, the central object of this tradition is a pole. A tall pole, decorated with ribbons, placed in the town square, and then people dance around it. If you're from outside Europe, you might think, is this some ancient pagan fertility ritual? And the answer is yes, but now with beer. In many regions, young men also secretly place a small decorated tree in front of the house of the girl they like. Which sounds cute, until you realize this means he had to steal the tree at night with friends, while drunk, carried across town and plant it in front of her house without her father noticing. German romance is operational. And then there are the parties. Tanz in den Mai parties are basically everyone from age 16 to 60 in the same hall with Schlager music, beer and slightly uncomfortable dancing. I once went to one in a small town. At midnight the DJ announced, "Now we dance into May," and everyone cheered, as if May was a country we were invading. Now let's talk about Pfingsten. Pfingsten is a Christian holiday. It celebrates the Holy Spirit descending upon the apostles, which in Germany translates to a long weekend with beer tents and outdoor drinking. I'm not even joking. Ask a German, what is Pfingsten? And probably 70% will say long weekend. But Pfingsten in rural Germany has some incredible traditions. Yes, another tree. Germany loves symbolic wood. A decorated tree is carried through town with music and drinking. Because if there's one thing we learn from history, it's that Germans behave responsibly when marching with alcohol. There's also something called Pfingstochse, which literally means Pentecost ox. Traditionally, a decorated ox was paraded through town. Today, usually just a drunk guy with flowers. In some villages, there are Pfingst festivals that last several days with beer, bratwurst, music, beer, rides, beer, and beer. If you're noticing a pattern, yes, Germany has 2 seasons, winter and outside drinking. Now we move to Ostern, which internationally means eggs, chocolate, family, spring. Germany says, let's burn something. Because of course we do. Easter fires are huge bonfires lit on Easter weekend. Historically, they symbolized the end of winter and the return of light. Today, they symbolize standing in a field at night with beer, staring into fire, which Germans find deeply meaningful. As a kid, Osterfeuer was magical. Huge flames, dark sky, smell of smoke, people everywhere. As a teenager, Osterfeuer became meeting friends, standing in circles, drink cheap beer, pretend to be deep. I remember once standing at an Osterfeuer with friends. Someone said, "Fire's fascinating." We all nodded like philosophers. We had been staring at the same branch burning for 20 minutes. Germany, where intoxicated silence counts as bonding. And then, of course, there are Easter eggs. In Germany, children search for eggs hidden by the Easter bunny, which raises many questions. A rabbit that paints eggs and hides them in gardens? Even German children at some point realize this logistics chain is suspicious. Now we reach the peak of German culture. Kohlfahrt literally means cabbage tour. And if that already sounds confusing, wait, because Kohlfahrt is essentially walking through cold countryside while drinking alcohol from a wagon to later eat cabbage and more alcohol. Yes, there is a wagon, pulled by participants, filled with schnapps, beer and games. Groups walk for hours, stopping regularly to drink and play drinking games in winter, outside, voluntarily. I did Kohlfahrt once with colleagues. At 10 a.m. someone handed me schnapps. I said, it's morning. He said, it's Kohlfahrt. This is considered a valid argument in Germany. The goal is to reach a restaurant where everyone eats. Grünkohl with sausage, potatoes and more alcohol. Then at some point, two people are crowned. Cabbage King and Cabbage Queen, which is exactly as prestigious as it sounds. They must organize next year's Kohlfahrt, so essentially you win by being punished. German traditions are efficient. So, what do all these traditions show? Tanz in Mai, Pfingsten, Ostern, Kohlfahrt. Different origins, different meanings, different seasons, but one cultural constant. Germany celebrates by gathering outdoors with alcohol and mild physical activity. Walking, standing, dancing, marching, always with drinks. Because Germans are actually very social. We just need structure, purpose, and beverages. Give Germans a reason to meet outside with alcohol and symbolic objects, and we will call it tradition for centuries. So, if you ever visit Germany and see a decorated tree, a large fire, a wagon of alcohol, or people walking with schnapps, don't worry, nothing strange is happening. It's just culture. Thank you for watching. I'm Manuel, I'm German, and if you smile at German at the Osterfeuer, we might not smile back, but we will offer you a drink, or both if you're lucky. Have you ever experienced a German event, or do you plan to participate in one in the near future? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one. Bis dann!